What's up, guys? I'm Rose, and I'm on a mission to live my greenest life possible. Currently, I'm focusing on clothing. In a previous video, I discussed ways that we can green up our closets because the textile industry is absolutely wreaking havoc on the environment. Some of the tips I included were avoiding fast fashion because the fast fashion industry not only cranks out a lot of cheap clothes, the working conditions are often very inhumane. So brands like the following should be avoided, and shopping resale is one of the best things you can do to green up your closet. Shopping resale prevents the production and distribution and transportation of new clothes. If shopping resale is not for you, you can invest in some green brands like Patagonia that make all of their clothes in a sustainable and ethical way. But an even better solution is just to not buy new clothes altogether. I recently did a closet clean out, and it's amazing just how much stuff was left over. And then I had a clothing swap party, and there's just so many clothes that can be sold or donated. But be careful about what you donate to these local charities. Make sure it's in good condition and try to choose smaller companies, not like Red Racks and Goodwill. By taking better care of our clothes, we can make them last a lot longer. So make sure you make any necessary repairs that need to be done. Try line drying. Host a clothing swap party to get rid of the ones that you don't want, like mine went really well. And finally, we can upcycle, and that's the next step that I'm going to talk about. So here are 10 ways that we can upcycle our old clothes. As I go through and organize my clothes after my clothing swap parties, I put them into piles of what I think I can sell, what I can donate, what I can repair, and then I just start working on them. So I've got some supplies to make repairs to some of my favorite clothes that I want to keep around. I'm not much of a seamstress. My first couple of attempts I used fabric glue because there were several rips. It turned out okay. But for clothing items that just can't be sold or donated, I use as cleaning supplies. These are the ones that are stained and ripped and torn and just not really fit for anything else. So you can make mop heads very easily. Try to use an absorbent material. I also saved some old socks, which I use for like messy cleanup jobs if I really don't want to keep the rag afterward. You can make stuffing by cutting up pieces of old fabric into really small bits and using it to either stuff pillows, stuff mattresses, or used for other types of projects. I really want to get an industrial shredder so that I can make more stuffing and actually sell it. Another thing you can do with old shirts is turn it into a tote bag. There's a really easy tutorial online that doesn't involve any sewing, where you basically just cut off the top of the shirt and then you snip the bottom of it multiple times and tie it together to make a super easy tote bag. The end result on my first practice one wasn't great, but hey, if I take my time and try harder, I might make a cute one. If you sew some fabric together and fill it with rice and then microwave it, you can make a really easy heat pad. I plan on making several of these. There's some more practical things that you can do with old clothing, but you can also do artistic things. Once I get my grandmother's sewing machine up and running, I want to try to make pillows. Like this is a pillow one of my grandparents' caretakers made out of my grandfather's shirt, and it was the sweetest gift. A similar project to pillows are stuffed animals. So I cut out this image on this shirt that had been stained and damaged, and then I basically just snipped up the rest of the leftover material, sewed it together, and then stuffed it full of the fabric to make this adorable little stuffed animal. So this is one project that's fairly easy. You can hand sew, although it's probably better to use the machine. I've seen some very cute sock monkeys and stuffed owls and things like that. There are a few projects that I haven't tried yet that I'm looking forward to trying, and one of them is swag. You can print images onto t-shirts, like this gift that I got from a friend. This is my favorite band. I'd like to learn how to do it eventually, I'd also like to learn how to crochet so that I can make potholders, and oven mitts will be a little bit easier, but you have to use a thick material so that you don't burn your hands. And one of the more elaborate projects that I'd like to try are rag rugs. This one came out of my grandmother's house. There's a lot of great tutorials about how to make these beautiful rugs out of old fabric. Pardon all the dog hair. Finally, you can give your clothes new life by looking at current trends and imitating those trends. So I went to the mall and I looked at some of the current styles, and then I went through my pile of clothes to see which ones I can imitate. So I've noticed there's like little crocheted fruits sold on there. I also looked up some of my favorite clothing brands online to see if I can just alter any of my clothes to look like the current style. With some minor alterations and some basic sewing skills, you can take old clothes and make them look like new. It's something that you could even sell. There are several styles that I want to imitate, but I'm going to have to brush up on my sewing skills because I am kind of a beginner. I can't wait to bust out my sewing supplies and try some of these projects, but I've got a lot of organizing and selling and donating to do before I can really get started. Share your favorite upcycling project in the comments section. Thanks for watching.